Hello, hello, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, all that good stuff. So, it is far too late to actually forage, but it's like noonish. No, it's not quite noon, it's like 11. But, it's been a mild morning, it's not been super hot. So, I really need to I have a forest. I have a forest that I need to forage. So there's a few things out here because we have our garden mounds, and they're getting big, right? So what we need to do is do a little bit of trimming around the edges, if you will, so that, because they're buried, they're buried. So we're going to start trimming some of this stuff up around the mounds. But there's some really amazing things that I don't want to lose out here. So I'm going to forage them before we start trimming the medicinal overgrown plants. So the first thing I am working on is yarrow. So there's several different colors of yarrow. Mostly you see yarrow as white. I actually have fuchsia yarrow in the yard, which is amazing. I freaking love it. It's beautiful. Look at this. This is pink yarrow. Okay, yarrow is an amazing herb, you guys. It is so good for wounds, for stopping bleeding. Like if you make a poultice in the field, if you dry it and into a powder, if you do a tincture with it, an oil with it, it's all about not all about. There's other things involved too, but it is an anticoagulant. Okay, so it'll stop bleeding. Like if you're now, here's the thing with that: you want to clean out your wound, right? Because the yarrow does such an amazing thing. It actually like seals everything and heals it like in twice the amount of the time. So if you don't clean the wound first, you're actually going to seal all that shit inside the wound. So it's nice and windy today. It's actually sprinkled a little bit earlier, which is why I had to come back out. Not saying that I'm, a witch that's going to melt, but I didn't want to get the camera wet. The camera's going to melt. And I really wanted to get this yarrow on video, the foraging that I've been doing, right? It's backyard foraging, guys. It's backyard foraging. I have such a backyard full of foraging amazingness, and we need to get some of this yarrow going. So I'm going to cut it at the base, okay? Because you can use the leaves and the flowers. Now the leaves can be used. The leaves are generally better when they're early, when they're young, before the flowers start to pollinate and all that good stuff. So if you want something that isn't going to be bitter for tea or anything like that, or at least super bitter, then use the younger leaves. But I like the flowers. I've been waiting for the flowers to come out because I want to dry the flowers. So I'm picking these things. And see, now this is a good young one. It doesn't have flowers yet. It just has a bud. Okay. So this is a good one, a young one for the leaves not being quite so bitter. Now I have an amazing herbal book that I'm gonna go into the factoids of. If you are into herbalism, this book that I'm going to show you in a little bit, so stay tuned. This book that I'm going to show you in a little bit is amazing. It has, see, one thing it's important for me on books to have, especially foraging and like plant books, right? Anything that has plant related things in it. I need good pictures. I need really good pictures because everything tends to look alike out here when you don't know what's going on. And for those of us like myself who are literally just learning herbalism, and I'm taking everything in with a sponge, as we all generally do, you need those pictures so bad, so bad. So along with the book, I have several apps that I use, all of the little plant identification apps. I actually cross-check a lot because you don't want to always you don't want to always just go by one app, because that app could be wrong. And I know we're all about technology nowadays, and having an app on our phone that tells us what kind of a plant what is fucking amazing. But you don't want to trust it implicitly. Like, really, you want to do your cross-checking. You want to make sure, I have at least about 6 or 7 herbology books that probably have the same damn information in them, but I don't care, because I think they're cool and I like them and I love knowledge, and there might be something different in them, and they have different pictures, so that's cool. So on with the yarrow. Now I have, I'm going to be doing some other foresting, I always say that, foraging in the yard today. I'm going to be doing, the yarrow look at that big long yarrow leaf, that was a good one. The yarrow is my goal today. That's my, what do you call it? My focus, if you will, to make sure I get as much, oh, that was alfalfa, that wasn't yarrow. A lot of this stuff in the yard, I actually have to look up and make sure what I need to do with it or what I can do with it, because, it's here, and I just know there's gotta be something that I could use it for, but I don't know yet until I read. That's what reading's all about. Knowledge, YouTube knowledge, reading knowledge, book knowledge. It's all everywhere. Knowledge is free. Okay, knowledge is free, guys. All you have to do is look something up. The internet literally saved us for that. Like, could you imagine not having the internet to be able to go and really look shit up the way that we do now? Could you imagine? That would be crazy. So I got some yarrow. We're gonna go over here because I think I got another nice little patch of yarrow over here. I'm trying to get some of the young ones, since in my reading I did see that the younger leaves are generally the more, maybe I don't know if it's nutrition. I wouldn't say that it's the flavor, right? It's the bitterness. So yeah. Now I already, I have a video about my random chamomile patch that I actually did just harvest from this morning. I keep harvesting the buds and I keep getting more and more out, which is of the little mini chamomile patch that I have. So definitely did that this morning. I have, this is hoary alyssum right here. I love this and I wish I could harvest it and do something with it, but I can't. It doesn't really, it's not medicinally good for you. And I have it everywhere, all that white. It's called hoary alyssum, and we actually joke, alyssum, Alyssum, and it's hoary, Hoary, but she spreads like a whore. Which is maybe why they called it that, I don't know, but it's kind of funny. All right, I did see another little patch. Oh, there it is. There's my yarrow over here. So I have red clover in the yard. I have crimson clover in the yard. I have alfalfa, which is something that I have to double check the medicinal values of, and all that good stuff. I'm just kind of literally putting this stuff. I'm just leaning the camera up against other plants here, so there we go. Nice. These are the worst scissors to be using out here today, truly. But you know what? I wanted to hurry up and come out here before it got any later, because when you start getting into things and you start putzing, well, that's what I did. I started putzing on other things, and I kind of forgot I had to go out here and do this today. Because we want to chop some stuff down. So yeah, here is a perfect one. I got this one closer, but this is right before that starts pollinating. So that is a really good one with the younger leaves. So it's actually an adult plant. Ooh, there's a big bumblebee right there. Hi, dude. Yeah, so these will be not as bitter on the leaves as the others. Let's see if I can show this bumblebee to you guys. He's so big and beautiful. Oh, never mind. I was not cool enough or slick enough. He flew right away. that was fun though. I love bumblebees. Who loves bumblebees? Bumblebees are so awesome. Love them. I had a really cool, I saw last year, there was 2 bumblebees on one flower, and I was lucky enough to catch a small video of it before they flew away. It's pretty cool. So here we are, harvesting yarrow, la-di-da. It's a fun time, let me tell you. So let's see, what else do we have in this yard? We have red clover, crimson clover. We have a shit ton of white clover, which is also good for it. I think we have damn near every single species of clover in this yard, which I'll have to do a clover video, just to show you, because man, I didn't realize there were so many. We have mullein in the yard. We have some dock, like bitter dock, burdock. We have some tansy in the yard over there. Those are excellent for like a bug repellent. I'm looking for some more yarrow right now around here. Yarrow is my focus today. What else do we have over here? We have all kinds of different wheats and rye. Curly dock, which I'll show you the curly. I think there's a really nice patch of curly dock over here that we'll eventually get the seeds from, so you can do, like, you know, flowers and whatnot from the seeds. So this is curly dock, right? This is the seeds coming up. They get nice and bright and crimson red. Their leaves are curly, right? So this is a good medicinal one, and we can use that for some grains, the seeds. All right, let's see. Oh, there's some more over here. Some more yarrow, I see. More yarrow. More yarrow. Got a lot of it over here. There's some yarrow right here. There's some right here. We've got some over here. All amongst my red clovers. So let's do can you stay? Will you stay? Let's do a little bit of cutting over here. A little choppy. A little choppy. So what else about yarrow? I gotta get that book out and read it to you, because I'm learning still, so I don't remember everything. I do know that it is, like I said, anticoagulant. So, you know, you also want to be careful if, you know, it does create blood clotting, right? That's why it helps with, you know, getting stopping bleeding and stuff, because, you know, it helps with blood clotting. So if you have an issue with thick blood, or whatever the case may be, this, you know, I am no doctor, and everything you do, you need to make sure of, you know, with your physician, because there are medicinal plants out there that do give you adverse effects, and you need to make sure you do your due diligence to see if it's good for you. Like for instance, this is red clover. This is one of the most amazing things when it comes to medicinal medicine that can grow anywhere. But I can't take it. I can't do anything with it. Why can't I do anything with it? Because I had cancer. I had breast cancer 2 years ago, and I'm in remission. But it was a HER2 positive breast cancer. I know that doesn't mean a whole lot to a lot of you right now, but the HER2 positive means that it was hormone driven. My estrogen was causing the cancer cells to grow rapidly. Okay, so anything that was going to increase my hormones, my estrogen, I have to be careful of. Red clover does that. What's the word? It levels out your hormone levels. Like if you have a menopause thing and you're like, fucking shit, take some red clover, bro or girl. I can't do that though, because I need the hot flashes. I need to make sure that my hormones don't kick into gear again, because that's the way my breast cancer worked. So, like I said, if there is something out there that you really, really think that you should take or want to try, want to make a tincture out of, want to dry and make into a powder you know, things like that. Be aware of what all of the medicinal factors are, because there might be one or two in there that, even though the whole is amazing, there might be a specific thing in there that you're like, fuck, I can't do that, which, because of the hormone regulation of the red clover, I can't take it. Our entire yard is full of red clover, which is why I continue to harvest it, because everybody needs it to some degree, but I can't take it because of my issues. So that's just a perfect example of knowing what these things do and knowing your body and what it is that you need to look out for help with, or any of that. So, all right, more yarrow. More yarrow. I need to move this so I can get over here. I'm sitting on the ground with all of the beautiful plants. So we do, oh wow, that was such, look how green that one was comparatively. That was underneath all the other growth. Look how pretty and new that is. Yeah, these are brand new growing down here. I should put those in. All right. I'm trying to get the ones with the flowers mostly, because they'll all grow up, you know, again. They'll grow again. I can harvest. I'm pretty much going to be harvesting most of the year. I've already harvested I've gone to my little chamomile patch about 3 or 4 times this year already. You know, every week there's like another little batch of newbies out there, so it's really fucking crazy and cool, really cool. But I come out here and, you know, I cut down, and there's always a cycle with things. They dry, they seed, they blow in the wind, they sprout, and they come back. So I'm going to get the ones that have the good tops so I can make sure and dry the flowers that I want to. And then I can wait for all the rest of them to oh my God, look at this big piece over here. Oh my God. It's everywhere over here. It's everywhere. Another thing with yarrow is that it is an anti-inflammatory, and it also helps like with fevers, right? So if you do like a yarrow tea when you're sick, that will help with fevers. So again, make sure that you are doing your due diligence and making sure that you read up on everything. And I'm gonna go ahead and put this on a little, I'll be back. All right. So I'm over in a different area, and I just wanted to show you that we do have a white yarrow in the yard as well. It's not as abundant. It's kind of funny. We have white on the end, white on the other end in the front yard, and then a bunch of fuchsia and pink yarrow in the middle of the yard. So it's kind of funny, but I did want to show you that there is white yarrow as well. I honestly don't know how many colors of yarrow there are, but we do have white as well. Okay, I think we have a beautiful yarrow harvest. There is still plenty in the yard to seed and re-up for the next backyard foraging expedition for yarrow specifically. But what I wanted to go and do before I wrap this video up, this vlog, if you will, is this is that book I was talking about, guys. The Lost Book of Herbal Remedies, okay, by Nicole Appelian, PhD, and Claude Davis. This is the one I'm talking about when it has the greatest pictures and information. I can't say the greatest because, you know, there are so many great, amazing books out there. So I don't want to say, this is the one. But this is one of the ones for sure. You definitely want to look up and probably purchase because it has great information in here. Hi, baby. So let's find out about yarrow. Let's really get into detail about yarrow. So I'm going to do a kind of a read here. So bear with me. Yarrow. I always keep yarrow in my medicine bag. So we're going to go ahead and go past the summary of fun stuff. But edible use. You can eat the leaves raw or cooked. They are bitter and are best eaten young. Like I was saying, the plant is very nutritious. However, I don't recommend eating a lot of it because of its blood clotting ability. Like I said before, it clots the blood. It is a coagulant, not an anticoagulant. The flowers and leaves are used to make tea, but the leaf tea is bitter. A little raw honey helps though. So all these beautiful flowers can go into a tea, either dried or or fresh, right? I haven't decided what I'm going to do actually yet with that. I probably will dry everything and make a dried either powder and or tea out of most of it myself. Medicinal use. This is where it gets good, guys. So listen up. All parts of the plant are used medicinally. Stopping internal and external bleeding is a main thing. Yarrow quickly stops bleeding by contracting the blood vessels and encouraging clotting. Yarrow contains anti-inflammatory and antibacterial compounds that ease swelling and promote healing. It also helps disinfect wounds. If it is possible, clean the wound before applying yarrow. Yarrow will quickly stop bleeding and bind any dirt or infectious material into the wound, so best to clean first if possible. To use yarrow leaves on a wound or abscess, chop or rip the leaves finely and apply to the wound. I often carry dried powder yarrow with me for this purpose, which is probably what I'm going to do with some of these leaves, is make a powder. Cover the wound with a soft cloth and leave it in place. Repeat 2 to 3 times daily until the wound is healed over time and the swelling is gone. Yarrow oil or tincture can be used to treat nosebleeds and other minor injuries, as can yarrow powder. Place a few drops of oil or tincture on the affected area or apply it to a tissue or cloth and place it on the wound. Bruises, sprains, swellings, and hemorrhoids. For bruises, sprains, hemorrhoids, and other swellings, use a poultice of yarrow leaves or stems pounded into a paste and applied to the injured area and cover. Infused yarrow oil or salve works well for bruises, sprains, swelling, and hemorrhoids. So, as you all know, we make witch's wax salves over here and other healing remedies. So this is something that I'm definitely probably going to be using in the future in some of our future products. Fevers, colds, and measles. Yarrow reduces the duration of the measles virus, colds, and fevers. It is quick to bring down a fever. Either chew raw yarrow or drink yarrow tea to induce sweating and reduce fevers. An easier and more palatable method is to take yarrow in tincture form. It opens the pores, encouraging perspiration, and purifies and moves the blood. Menstrual problems. Yarrow tea for tincture treats menstrual problems ranging from a lack of menstruation to excessive bleeding and cramping. It tones the uterine muscles after childbirth, reduces cramping by relaxing the smooth muscles, and prevents hemorrhage. It also helps to bring on menses. So if there is a problem with not having it, then this could help you. Dental pain. To reduce inflammation and relieve dental pain, chew on a piece of fresh yarrow root or yarrow leaf. In addition to its anti-inflammatory and anti-infection benefits, yarrow contains salicylic acid, I never say that right, a pain reliever that acts quickly. Mastitis. As an antibacterial and an anti-inflammatory, yarrow works well for mastitis. A leaf poultice seems to work the best while alternating between warm and cold compresses. Cabbage leaves also work well for mastitis. Anxiety and relaxation without sedation. Yarrow seems to reduce anxiety without sedative effects. It has a calming effect on the central nervous system. So I'm not sure, but I might have to try this as a calming tea. Maybe some yarrow and some chamomile combined could really, I mean, chamomile is more of a, it definitely induces that sedative effect though, so maybe not. But good point. Harvesting. Yarrow is best when young, picked in the spring or early summer before the flowers have been pollinated. Dry the leaves, stems, and flowers for later use. Once the herb is dry, store it in a capped jar in a cool, dark, and dry location. So I didn't actually, some of these are young that I ended up getting, but most of them have the flowers, like this one. This one's young right here. Well, it's a shoot off, but those are young leaves and flowers before they start pollinating, right? This has already pollinated, but I love the flowers. They're beautiful, which is why I wanted them, so that they would be great in herbal herbal teas. Gotta love the prettiness of teas, right? So, warning: do not eat yarrow or take yarrow tea during pregnancy. Some people are allergic to yarrow. Do not use it if you're allergic to plants in the aster daisy family. If you develop a rash or if any irritation occurs, do not use before surgery. So there are some recipes. You can have a yarrow tea, a yarrow tincture, a yarrow oil, or a yarrow salve. It goes into detail about these recipes. I'm definitely not going to read over them because I think if you really wanted to do something with yarrow, you could certainly either look this book up. I may do some recipes in the future on this channel, or look up another recipe that you might want to do. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is my backyard foraging with yarrow. I have so many pretty colors. It's pink, fuchsia, and white. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. I'm Amber Lalana. This is the Hippie homesteading area at Twin Flame Farms, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.